Hi guys, it's your girl Jilly. I'm back. Did you guys miss me? I know I took a whole month off, or almost a full month off, to rejuvenate my spirit and get some energy back. You guys voted on my YouTube poll and you guys were very interested in life path numbers. So before we start, please take a second to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification because I want you to be the first one to know when I upload a new video. So I'm back with some energy, and what I want you guys to do is to check out the links below in the video details. That's going to tell you how to get your life path number. Now there's two popular ways of getting your life path number. Now, they're both different methods, and you might get a different life path number each and every single time. But what I would encourage you to do is to do those life path calculations at both links and see which resonates most with you. I personally can't tell you which one is better because when I do both methods, it still equals 33 for me, and my life path number is 33. It's a master number, but we'll get into videos with master numbers further along. So without further ado, let's get started on life path number one. Life path number one. Well, what is a life path? Similar to astrology, which talks about your personality and what you're more likely to be like, your life path number is more of your life purpose number. What's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? What are you prone to do? And life path number one, you are the creator. You are a leader. You are very innovative. You're very brilliant and quite quirky, quite unusual. In fact, you come up with a lot of ideas, off the wall ideas that people will look at you like, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? But at the end of the day, you don't care what people think. You march to the beat of your own drum. You know that your idea is good, and you're going to do whatever you can to make that idea work. For example, let's say, when bottled water came out back in the day, I'm pretty sure somebody told that person, no one's going to buy bottled water. They can just get water in the sink. Guess what? Now we got bottled water everywhere, different varieties, and that's making millions of dollars. So that's what life path number one does. They create most off-the-wall ideas and they put it into motion. Nothing stands in their way. In fact, they're great in competitive areas. They're very competitive. And if you put them into a competitive environment, guarantee you that life path number one is going to be on top. And because they're natural born leaders, they're probably going to be a CEO, a manager, somebody who's leading others, because every leader needs someone to follow. They need someone to lead. And people look up to them because life path number one is very persuasive, very charming. They have no problem convincing other people of their ideas. They're very charismatic. And for the most part, they're very cheerful folk. They're pretty happy folks. In fact, they attract people because of their brilliance, because of their wit, and because of their creativity. Now, a lot of people who are business savvy and logical tend to only be just that. However, life path number one tends to be that plus creative and soulful, which is a very rare combination. You usually don't see creativity and soulful with logic and practicality and business savvy. However, life path number one is a very unique and very rare blend of both. In fact, they are very good at manifesting. If anybody's going to manifest wonderfully, it's going to be life path number one. They can tap into the gifts of the universe because they set their intent on what they want. And part of the law of attraction is setting intention and keep thinking about it and keep visualizing it. They're so good at visualizing and setting a dream. In fact, they could be sitting still and not moving, but their mind is always going. They're always focused on the prize. And this attracts law of attraction because you are what you think. And when you set that goal and you set that intention, life path number one, manifest this easily. You will probably find these people in very successful roles. You might find them as actors or singers or fashion designers because they are so ambitious and they are so driven. But now, with every positive trait, there are some negative traits. Now, just like astrology, there is the evolved and the unevolved zodiac sign. That's similar to numerology and life path numbers. There is an evolved life path number one who taps into their strength, an unevolved life path number 1, which can be drawn more to their negative traits. So they have to learn how to evolve from that. But what are the negative traits that life path number 1 is prone to do? Well, because they're so ambitious and because they're so goal-oriented, they tend to be a little self-centered. And they can even delve into being narcissistic because they actually do care about recognition. And if somebody doesn't recognize them, they feel really low. They don't feel, even though they'll never show this on the surface, inside, they really want somebody's approval. So if nobody agrees with them and nobody approves them, they can really be down on themselves. And that can really lead them into states of depression. And I want to go back to the depression a little bit more further down the line. So let's go ahead and move on a little bit further. Now, because they're goal-oriented and because they want what they want and they don't care what they have to do to get it, they will step on people. They will literally step on the little people to get where they are. They don't mind having to, knock people down to get what they want. So that's a pretty dark trait. They're also very critical. If someone's not working as hard as if they're looking at somebody and that person's not working as hard as the way they think they should, they automatically cast that person aside. They're not worth life path number 1's time. And another thing about them, they can be very aggressive. They can be overzealous, but in a pushy, kind of dictator-like way. And this kind of pushes people off. And when they're trying to succeed and build an empire, they have to understand that they have to be willing to form relationships and actually care about the opinions of others. And they don't really care about the opinions of others because according to them, their opinions is the one that matters. Their opinion is what makes them more right. I know that doesn't really make sense, but in their head, their opinion is the right one and nobody else's opinion matters. Now, their mind is always busy. They're always focused. They cannot sit still. I mean, they can sit still, but their mind is always going. So they tend to have sleep problems, insomnia. So they really have trouble quieting their mind. If anybody needs to practice the art of meditation, it has to be life path number 1. Otherwise, they're going to have a lot of sleepless nights. They're going to be low on energy. They're going to be running low on steam. They're going to just not be good for much. And now, when somebody crosses them, when somebody really rubs them the wrong way, life path number 1 can be very vindictive, very venomous, very vengeful. Because they're so brilliant and very observant, they can look at somebody, know their weaknesses, use it against them, and crush their enemy. And they can do this without any remorse. So they're pretty dark in this way. Another thing about life path number 1, which can be negative, is that, well, how do I put this? Okay, don't get mad at me, life path number 1, but like I said in the beginning, usually when you meet a narcissist, I think of life path number 1. They can be, they can literally have no emotions towards other people. And they can literally play somebody for a fool if they wanted to. But this is the dark trait of life path number 1. So I don't want anyone thinking that all life path number 1, like I said, this is the unevolved life path number 1. So please don't think that. Another thing about life path number 1, when it comes to relationships, whether that's friendship or romantic, they want to be the leader. They want to be with somebody or hang around somebody they can give orders to. They want to be able to tell them what to do, kind of subjugate the person they're with. I don't know if I said that word right, but if I didn't, y'all know I don't edit my videos and I don't correct myself, but you guys know what I mean. So they tend to pick people who are going to be very agreeable with them, who are going to follow them blindly and never question them. And this is looking good to life path number 1 at first. But when they realize that they're not growing and developing in a relationship, well, it's because there's no one there to help be a leader with them. They need somebody who's going to support them and be that match with them and complement them. In fact, they're most compatible with life path number 3, 5, and 9. And I'll probably get into compatibility videos with numbers, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that in the future. But just for a rough reference, I'm going to tell you it's 3, 5, and 9. Now, last but not least, another negative trait with life path number 1, they can cast people out. They can throw them out of their life. And they can do it for a petty reason, as somebody who's disagreeing with them, somebody who questions them, somebody who doesn't want to follow them. So something as little as this can cause life path number 1 to just kick them out of their life. Now, overall, life path number 1 is a powerful leader, a powerful creator, someone who's great at manifesting, someone who's brilliant, observant, hardworking. Oh, and they're very physically and mentally strong. In case I didn't say that in the beginning, they're very good at that. They're very cheerful. They're very charismatic. They're very persuasive. In fact, they have no problem attracting the opposite sex or the same sex if they're a same sex type of person in a relationship. So they have no problem attracting that. But the negative traits, to sum those all up, they can be egotistical, very self-centered, very selfish, and very unemotional at their worst. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this, and I think it's very worth mentioning that life path number 1 does have addictive qualities. So if somebody doesn't validate them or recognize them from their own work, if they don't feel validated in the hard work they're putting in, they can tend to get to addictive qualities because they need some type of self-fulfillment. They're very self-sufficient, but if they don't get that recognition and they don't get that self-satisfaction, then they're going to look for self-satisfaction in other things like alcohol, recreational drugs, meaningless sexual encounters, and it can be kind of dangerous after a while. But I did want to bring that up because I think it's very worth mentioning. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys looked forward to seeing me again, because I did miss doing videos. I did miss seeing you guys. So please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe and share me, guys. Share my videos. Let me be known in the world. And if you guys like my work and you want to continue seeing me put videos out there, please make a donation to the link below. I have a Cash App tag, I have a PayPal link, and any little bit helps. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, it's your girl Jilly. I love you so much. Thank you for staying tuned. Peace. I love you guys.